It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
What's going on, guys? I know it's been a while since I've made one of these, but you know, life's been busy. I've been working jobs. I made a short film, A Cruel Hunger. I really would appreciate it if you guys check out the trailer for that. It's on my YouTube channel. It's like the last video I've posted. You know, that short film could very well be, you know, playing in a festival near your town, or it could be on a streaming platform eventually. You know, so you know, check out my Facebook, CP Michigan Productions /Facebook.com, and you know, for updates on that, or you know, stick around, keep checking the channel. It might end up on the channel as all my other short films normally do. But today I'm going to be reviewing 2001's Session 9. Yeah, Session 9. Session 9 came out at a time when I think a lot of the horror genre was being parodied. It was very reluctant, you know, for a lot of people, because I think things like Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legends kind of made the whole genre kind of like, you know, what's left to be said when it's so aware of itself. And then it went into sort of parody mode during this time with stuff like Scary Movie, Shriek, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and just you know, different things that were like winking at the genre. So something like this, it just wasn't very heavily marketed, you know, and it falls under the radar. But I think it's a hidden gem, to be honest with you. This movie, though, it's very much a, you know, atmospheric film. You know, it kind of teeters on, is it more of a psychological thriller or not? You know, I think it's both, really. It's safe to say. It's very much in the spirit of The Shining, where it's playing with, you know, is it insanity or is it the supernatural? And it even, you know, is very much about a kind of place, you know, much like the Overlook Hotel. This is about an abandoned mental hospital or asylum, you know, which was a real place called Danvers, I think, Mental Asylum or whatever. It was in Boston, I believe. Now it's been renovated and everything, but they shot this thing for like $1 million, which in the world of movie making is not a whole lot. The film has David, what's his name, I think? David Caruso, the guy from CSI Miami with the long red hair. This was like right before his CSI Miami stuff, so it didn't help the film when it came out that he was in this, because he was kind of you know, he was on I think NYPD Blue or something a few times before this, so it's not like he was a big name for it. But yeah, you know, this movie is pretty interesting. It's about a group of guys that are asbestos removal company, and it's kind of ran by two guys. One of them's, you know, David Caruso's character, and he's sort of like, kind of like the asshole that the guy like in second, you know, command, and he's kind of there to crack the whip to the other guys. But the one guy that kind of runs it and owns it, I believe, you know, he's desperate to get a job, you know. At the beginning, I think there's kind of a bid for it, for this huge mental asylum. By the way, the place is crazy. I mean, it's massive and so creepy. It's like everything you think, you know, an abandoned mental asylum could look like. I mean, it's just bizarre. There's right there on the cover here, there's like that, you know, 19 whatever, 1800s old school wheelchair, you know, and just stuff like that all over the place with different things on the wall. That's a big part of the movie, is, you know, the way this thing was shot and the location that they're in, which I guess, you know, they really didn't do much to it. They just kind of would add a couple things here and there, but what you see is what you get. So this place was really creepy. And you can totally see why they wanted to make a movie here. But, so it's about these guys that are in an asbestos removal company with the hazmat suits. And it's a lot of them creeping around, exploring different things, as that would happen in real life. And one of the things they find is an old audio tape, or, with audio tape reels, the old, like they have an Evil Dead and stuff. And I think now it's a bit of a cliche, but it's the whole patient patient doctor interview, and you're learning about, this patient, this woman who's got multiple personality disorders, and she goes into all the personalities. And I wouldn't call this a subplot as much as it is a exposition into this kind of woman, and it leading you into different ideas about what's going on in the plot. I mean, I don't know if you'd call that a subplot. I feel like it's more of a plot device, but anyway, she has all these personality disorders, and all these guys, they kind of slowly start to not trust each other, and the main guy seems to slowly just get weirder and weirder and freaked out about things. One of the guys goes missing, and that's sort of the big turning point in the movie, the big twist. And then things just aren't the same with everybody at that point. And it's got a real sense of dread and tension. The film is like I said, it's by no means a slasher film or a jump scare film, or even really a ghost film. It's very much about being in a very creepy place and knowing that there's a whole bunch of really crazy history just seeping through the walls. I mean, there's lots of shots very similar to like The Shining, where they're just kind of showing you the halls and showing you the rooms, and very much just about that. And if that's not your thing, you're not gonna like it. But I think that a lot of people could learn from this movie, in this day, because again, I compare it to The Shining, and even in the making of the film, they talk about The Shining because it's that kind of movie. The Shining is that movie. But I think if you're into that kind of filmmaking that's very psychological, but it's not about analyzing that, and it's just about atmosphere, which I think is like, yeah, you need to watch this film for something like that. Like, you can really get into the suspense of it, and also the stuff that goes on in the plot, I think is very much like the scary part of the movie. It kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat and knowing what is going to happen next in the story. What is this character going to do? Why did this happen? So in that way, it's very much like a mystery, like thriller, So you're wondering what's going to happen. It's not just who's going to die, how are they going to die. It's very it's very clever too. I think it's one of the better films in the horror genre of the early 2000s, at a time when I think that it was a reluctant thing that people tried to make and market on a mass level, and it's a shame that this film didn't really get the praise that it needs. So I highly recommend you guys check out Session 9. What can I say? I mean, I don't think it's the best movie ever made, but I don't think it's anywhere near the worst movie ever made. But it's definitely like it gets under your skin kind of film. So check out Session 9, guys. Anyway, I'm going to try to post more with the way things are. So maybe I'll see you in the future more. And peace out, guys.